Welcome back to the Highly Anticipated Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Raffi. I got my boys with me, Julian and Will. How y'all boys been?
Been great, man. Just glad to be back. It's a blessing.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's definitely been a minute. I think the last episode we dropped probably might have been a year ago, honestly. But y'all know life happens. But what matters is we back here, we back now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we ready to go. We got a good episode for y'all. Some NBA stuff. I got my basketball guru with me, Julian. So you know when you see Julian, you know we talking hoops. So we gonna kick it off with some NBA predictions. I'll start with you, Julian. Kind of talk to me a little about like who you think coming out the West, who you think coming out the East. What predictions you got?
So actually, I don't know if y'all saw earlier. I know I sent it. I forget which chat I sent it in, but I don't know if you saw Luca. I don't know what ended up developing out of it, but
I saw that. I think he's fine though. I saw that.
Because I do think LeBron and him having a full offseason, I do think if they can kind of really mesh and figure that dynamic out, I think they could really make some noise. But realistically, I'm not gonna lie, the more I see and the more I think about it, I'm pretty high on the Spurs. I think the Spurs are gonna be real good this year. I think, Wemby went and trained with the monks. He shaved his head, and then he came back and started training with Kevin Garnett. So I ain't gonna lie, man. I think Wemby might really be ready to kind of take that step and really start living up to the hype that he had coming in. Not that he hasn't already, but I think year 3 Wemby coming off that injury he had. I think he's gonna be locked in. He has a young vet in De'Aaron Fox with him. Stephon Castle looked amazing last year. They got a veteran in Harrison Barnes. Yeah, man, and then you got the Spurs infrastructure. So I would say the West. I like the Spurs right now for sure.
But you will.
That's tough. I'll start with the West. Actually, no, I'll start with the East. I think. Or wait, did you say the West?
Wait, who was your East?
Oh no, did you say the West?
Okay, I think like who you think's gonna meet in the finals?
I'll say Spurs, and then obviously the East is kind of like it's kind of up in the air right now. Like I want to say the Magic, but I feel like it's hard to have a new team just kind of mesh and make it to the finals their first year together. So realistically, I think Giannis might just say F it and just really carry the Bucks to the finals. Like I think Giannis last year, he looked like the best player in the league for a lot of the season. I think obviously with Dame going down, that was tough. I think them letting Dame go kind of sent a message of like, nigga, like we're ready to go right now type of thing. So yeah, I think honestly, if I had to put my money on somebody in the East, I'll just go with Giannis.
Wow. That's what I'll say right there then with the East. I don't think the Bucks are going to diddly squat this year, to be honest. I think losing Dame, in addition, I mean, you get Miles Turner, but I really don't see like come playoff time, like what's the big leap that the Bucks can make from like last year in comparison to this year. Obviously the East is kind of outside of like your top teams of like Cleveland, the Knicks. I think the Magic will be up there this year. I think it's like a significant drop off, so they could compete, but I don't see them carrying them to the finals. Definitely agree with you on the Magic. I think the Magic are a sleeper team in the East for sure this year. Cavs probably got the best chance, honestly, to get out the East. Don't have to worry, like I said, about the Bucks. Not gonna have to worry about the Pacers next year. Not gonna have to worry about the Celtics. Obviously with Tatum hurt and even with getting Anthony Simons, like it's just moves that aren't like they aren't drastic moves that I think are like gonna move the needle for them. Y'all don't listen. Don't sleep on the Pistons, okay? I'm just saying. And I don't know why you look like that. I don't like when you do that. I don't like when you do that. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a lot of teams in the West. I mean, in the East, that's like sleeper teams because we all forget about Philly too. If they just magically stay healthy,
Yeah,
they probably have the easiest, at least on paper, like the easiest chances to run through the East. Like easy, no problem. There's no reason if they're all healthy throughout the whole year, they shouldn't just run through the East. Like easy run through, like even through the playoffs. That's how I
that
feel.
I think that's an amazing point. I just Paul George, any team having to do with that brother, I'm good.
It's just not.
I'm
I
good on
don't.
him.
Like I
I'm
said, that's if they stay healthy. If they don't, and honestly, I don't have too much faith in the 76ers. One team I will say that I'm gonna go to the West. I will say, don't be surprised if the Wizards end up in like the second round. Fight. Listen,
You said
that's
who?
that's my hot take. I'm saying, don't
Who
be
did you say?
surprised. The Wizards, bro. I'm not joking,
Wizards? What?
bro. I'm
You
telling
said
you,
don't be surprised if they make the second
bro.
round, buddy. Don't be surprised if they make the playoffs. What do you mean
I'm
the
telling
second
you, bro.
round?
I'm
What are
telling
you
you,
the
two
playing? What are you
actually
talking
two
about?
teams, the Wizards and the
Brother,
Hawks.
you
Don't
just
be
skipped the
surprised,
play-in and the playoffs and said don't be surprised if the Wizards make the
bro.
second round.
The Wizards have a complete roster. I'm talking about on
Brother,
paper. They've got
brother,
the veterans. They've got the
I
defense. They've
can
got the
bet you
scorers. They've got the
whatever
youth.
I got, whatever I
They
own,
got
the
the
Wizards are
talent,
not make
bro.
the
They
Wizards
got
are
the
not making
talent.
the
I'm
second
saying
round, brother.
on paper, you gotta, bro. The moves the Wizards front office this
I don't
offseason has
even know who's
been,
on their team.
bro, it's
Genuinely.
tremendous. They got Cam Whitmore for a steal. You got CJ McCollum. You got Marcus Smart. You got Chris Middleton. It's not
They
an
don't got Marcus
exciting.
Smart. They don't got Marcus Smart.
No,
Listen,
We got Marcus Smart.
you
They don't
got
got Marcus
Marcus
Smart.
Smart. Sorry.
We, the Lakers, got Marcus Smart.
but honestly, no, Will. The more you talk, they got
Um,
AJ Johnson. AJ
AJ
Johnson's
Johnson.
have a breakout year. They
They
got,
got Bub
I mean,
Carrington.
Star is okay. They got Bub. Bub is gonna be nice next
They
year.
got
Honestly,
listen,
the more he talks, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a second
Trey
round.
Johnson. Trey Johnson to me was the most. Him and Jeremy Fears were the most underrated players in the draft. I think Trey Johnson could easily be Rookie of the Year this year. Listen. He's gonna be a great piece for them. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they like make the play-in. I wouldn't. Like, nah, I wouldn't be surprised if they make the play-in of the playoffs. I wouldn't. That second round, I can't get on that. I can't get on that one with you.
Okay.
I can't.
But
Finish what you're saying.
I didn't even get to the West. I got caught up on the East. But go ahead.
I feel like I already know your answer to the West, but you can. I just want to hear you say it. Say it.
Well, let me tell you who doesn't have a chance.
You see, that's not the question. We're not doing this. This is a new year. We're not doing this. Just say
right.
who you think is going to make it. You don't gotta say who do you think is not gonna make it.
I think it's gonna be tough this year. I'll tell you that much. I think Denver reloaded. I think losing MPJ and bringing on Cam Johnson is actually like addition by subtraction. I think that helps them. I think OKC. I mean they don't lose nobody. They bring back. OKC so deep, it's ridiculous at this point. They got somebody who probably be a starter on the NBA who ain't even touched the floor that they drafted last year. The Clippers this year could be. I mean, shoot, Clippers could be dangerous. Who did they get for Norman?
They got Brooke Lopez and they got
Bradley. What am I? I'm just saying.
Bradley Beal. Oh, and then I think they signed.
They signed CP.
Did they sign Chris Paul?
yeah, they got
They signed CP.
Retirement.
Listen, they look good. Okay, obviously, Rockets were the second team in the West last year, and that was with Jalen Green kind of at the helm of all of that. Obviously paired up with Alperen Sengun. And so when you add, one of the greatest players, best player in the league to me, to that roster,
Which
then
league?
huh? If you
You
add
said.
that, you add
But you.
that to that
But
team,
you said.
I'm not doing this.
Okay.
If you add him, if you add him to that
So know
team,
which league. Say best friend in the league. So know which
if you
league.
add him,
Give me the
obviously
NBA.
for Jalen Green, I could see them easily being title contenders. The Lakers, uh, I think Rob Pelinka was playing. I don't know if he was playing Madden or 2K while all the during the trade stuff or the offseason, or if he was distracted, or I'm not sure what he did. I guess you guys got Marcus Smart, and who else? You guys did you guys sign a few G League players or something like that, or are you hoping Bronny is going to take a big leap, or I'm not sure what. Not quite sure. And then you better pray to God that Luca, his own teammate, just ran into his knee. You better pray. You better pray nothing wrong with Luca because there's
No, but they signed Aiton, didn't they?
who
Mm-hmm.
They signed
DeAndre
they
Ayton.
signed they signed Dominating.
Dominique.
They feel their need. They need a big. They signed a double machine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, a guy that you once told me that DeAndre Ayton and Kevin Durant were the best duo in the league, and I actually have that clip. I remember you telling me that actually.
And
Because I really
yes,
would love for you to say no. I actually have that clip.
no, let's add some context to this now. Okay, when I said that the trade had just happened,
Yeah.
okay, and I said that was prior to seeing any play between them. Okay, that was before I knew that DeAndre Ayton actually doesn't really like the game of basketball that much.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
doesn't try that much on the
I
court.
mean, he was already in the league for several years.
Yeah, I
So
understand
yeah.
that, but you do know the reviews, the Yelp reviews on DeAndre for
I
every team
mean,
he's been on
I
so
don't
far.
think he
It's
was
not
gonna
been
enjoy
very
playing
good.
basketball. I
Like,
don't think he was gonna enjoy playing basketball in Portland. I
you
mean,
don't really
I
try.
just
Like you don't really.
he's not
You're not
playing. He's
really.
not playing to win over there. Clearly, they're
Yeah.
just playing for vibes.
Well, you
It's
know
almost like
what?
the jail
Hopefully,
yard Hornets. Like they're
you know,
over there doing what they're doing. They got
okay.
29 days, 30 nights, Miles, whatever his name is. You think they care about hoops over there in Charlotte? They don't care. They're there for vibes, buddy. So the Trailblazers clearly don't care.
Yeah.
Sure, I mean they're bringing back Damian Lillard. Thank you. You
Yeah.
know, obviously, shout out to what he's done for them. But you think they're playing to win? Clearly not. They traded their best scorer
Yeah.
for
I don't
chips.
think they. I
Well,
don't
no,
think
let me
they.
not say that. Drew Holiday, but
But
Drew
if
Holiday
you
isn't.
know what, your goat. You say he always brings the
How do
best
we
out
get
of
to
players.
this? Who do you
No,
have
I'm
coming out
saying I was continuing saying you say he always brings the best out of players. So maybe he can be the one guy that's gonna bring the best out of DeAndre this year, and then that can help propel y'all to at least a playing spot. Is what I'm hoping for. So, yeah, that's my take.
So who do you have coming out the West?
Who do I have coming out the West?
Yeah, you still didn't answer that.
Western Conference Finals is going to be OKC and the Houston Rockets. Who I have winning that, I can't tell you right now. Okay.
Okay. Anyways.
I
All
can't.
right. For me, I'll start with the East. Personally, is the East is up for grabs. You mentioned Orlando's a really good team. I'm not really too pressed on the Celtics. I mean, they're still going to make the playoffs. They're still well coached, still have some good pieces, but I don't think they're going to make any noise. The 76ers, a team where it's like, hey, like if Embiid's healthy, but there's a lot of ifs. PG is declining. I do think they do have a lot of pieces, and they are a really good team on paper, but are you going to have all those guys ready to go come April, May, June? And that's been the question for the 76ers for the past several years. Pistons are a really good team, gritty team. They defend, athletic, led by Cade. It's a team you cannot overlook at all. So that's another team that could make some noise. Now, title contenders, I wouldn't say so. Miami Heat, I don't really think they're going to be title contenders, but they're still one of those weird teams that's like they're going to sneak in there. Tyler Hero, hopefully he takes a leap. Bam, hopefully he takes a leap. But again, that's just a lot of ifs, and we got to see that. But I say all that to say, I personally think the Knicks are going to come out of the East next year. I like them a lot. They didn't really lose anybody. They extended, I want to say Mikal Bridges dates. They extended. And you got a team that has a taste of making a deep playoff push, which they did last year. A bunch of guys that have been playing together since college, and you could see that chemistry. They have a lot of good wing defenders. They can score. They have a lot of 3-and-D guys. Then you get rid of Thibodeau, who didn't care if he played dudes 45 minutes, and you bring in Mike Brown, who I personally think should have never got fired from Sacramento. A guy that's he knows how to coach. He knows how to bring the best out of players, and personally, I think he's going to elevate them to a different level. I don't want to sit here and say
Now they should have lost to the Pistons, though. Let's keep that in mind.
Okay, but they didn't. Sorry if I was.
Yeah, I got you.
But no, I definitely think Mike Brown will put them in a lot of different sets compared to, we were just watching Jalen Brunson go one-on-one down, in crunch time, whereas Mike Brown is a bit more of an offensive-minded coach that has coached some of the best players in the league in history. So I definitely think he's going to give them a different look, and he's going to bring a different outlook for them. So me coming out the East, obviously with all the injuries, all that's going on, I got the Knicks. The West. West is really interesting to me because the West is a gauntlet. It is a gauntlet. You got from top to bottom OKC, Minnesota, who's made the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years. We didn't even mention the Denver Nuggets. Got Cam Johnson, like you mentioned, that I think he's a better version of MPJ because I feel like he can put the ball on the floor. He can create for his own while he can also catch and shoot. So he'll bring definitely a different dynamic for them. You got the Rockets. Obviously, they were second in the West last year. They reloaded with Kevin Durant. I do think my biggest thing for them is I feel like a lot of people undermine how good Dylan Brooks was for them defensively and kind of being that head of the snake for them defensively. But I think
your boy Dorian.
Huh?
You got your boy Dorian. Finney.
Right. Okay. Anyways, Dorian, right. But I feel like Amen is going to take, he is not going to fill the role of Dylan Brooks. That's the same guy.
When
it's very funny. It's very funny. You're a very funny guy. You're a very funny guy. You want to know why you're a very funny guy? Let me finish. You want to know why you're a very funny guy? Because when Dorian Finney-Smith was on the Lakers, all that I've heard you say about him was terrible things. Now, all of a sudden, he's on the Rockets, and he's going to be the head of the snake for us. He's going to lead our team defensively. When he was on the Lakers, you never said that.
He's not going to lead. Amen he's the defensive enforcer now.
So that's where I was going before you just randomly said Dorian Finney-Smith for some reason. So if you let me finish my thought, I would have said Amen was going to have to take a step in leadership and kind of take that, okay, like I'm going to be the head for us. I'm going to be the engine for us defensively. That's where I was going with it before you brought up Dorian Finney-Smith for whatever reason. And I want you to bring him up all season too. When he's shooting 1 for 8, I want you to bring that up. Anyways, the Rockets, a really good team. But like I said, defensively, I want to see Amen take that leap for them and kind of be the head for them defensively. But it's a really good team all around. They're deep, well coached, and that's just a scary team to me. You got the Spurs, who I feel like with Wemby healthy, De'Aaron Fox, Harper, Castle, that team's crazy. It's a young team that's going to get up and down. They got a rim protector in Wemby. That's self-explanatory. They can knock down shots. I'm very intrigued to see how they kind of do that 3-guard rotation with Fox, Castle, and Harper. You got De'Aaron Fox, who's, been known as kind of one of the better guards in the league. Castle coming off of a rookie of the year, and then the best point guard in the draft in Dylan Harper. So I'm very intrigued to see how they do that. Personally, I feel like in the future, if Giannis does come available, I feel like they're going to package one of them dudes. But, until that happens, I still feel like they'll be able to play together. It'll just be interesting to see how they adapt. But the Spurs, nasty. That's a scary team.
Scary enough to get to the play. That's about it.
Now that's you think the Wizards. You see, this is why he's trying to get me going. This guy thinks the Wizards are going to get to the second round.
But they're in the West.
Anyways,
if the Spurs were in the East, they would be going probably to the second round minimum. But they're not. They're in the West.
The Spurs are gonna make the playoffs.
Just
and
straight
then
up.
And then you got.
I just asking you, just straight up. Like
they're gonna be a top 8 team. They're not gonna be
in a play. They'll be
okay. I mean, yeah, if they land 7 or 8, yeah, they'll be in the play-in, but they'll be a top 8 seed in terms of like record. When the regular season's done, they'll be a top 8 seed, barring no serious injuries.
Over who though? Over who?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
I still want to say the team I got coming out the West. I haven't been able to get to that for 10 minutes. Right. I've been trying to get to that for 10 minutes.
Right. I get to.
Jeez, like I've been able to get to that. This might be the only topic we talk about today at this point. So anyways, then obviously, like I mentioned, Rockets, Spurs, etc. My Lakers. I mean, they're gonna go as far as Luka and Bron take them. If Luka and Bron are healthy, for the year, they're gonna be a team that's not gonna be an easy out. How
far is that?
You see, I can't even. Am I gonna be able to finish my thought? This is what I need to know. Am I gonna be able to finish my thought? Yes or no? Am I gonna be able to finish my thought and then questions later? Ask the questions when I finish my thought.
Sorry.
Because don't get me started on the Rockets again. You see, I was nice with them. No, I didn't even go in how I wanted. But that's a team that's not going to be an easy out at all. You got 2 of the top 10 players in the league. A player that's top 3 in my opinion in Luka. So it's not an easy out. You fill the need that you needed with DeAndre Ayton. They needed DeAndre Ayton. They needed a guy that was going to be able to. I wouldn't say he's like a big rim protector, but they just needed a big. They were getting out rebounded the whole postseason. He's a double machine. I think he'll be a nice little lob threat for Luka as well. He can step out, knock down middies. He can do it all. So he filled that need. Marcus Smart's another guy that I feel like he can defend. You didn't really have a guy for us that could really guard a lot of guards. So having Marcus Smart, he's obviously older. He's not prime Marcus Smart, but he still gives us that need defensively. With all that being said, in the Western Conference Finals, depending on where teams are, what seed they are, I like OKC and I like the Lakers. Now, if obviously the Lakers are on the side with OKC, then I'm going to take OKC. But if the Lakers are on the opposite side of OKC, barring no injuries, I'm taking the Lakers. And I would love to see a Lakers Rockets matchup. That would be amazing. Because it's just I'm not even going to get into that because I was going to get into what happened with the Suns because I remember when we were talking about they were going to be finals contenders. Ooh, that didn't happen clearly. Anyway, did they make the playoffs last? Did the Suns make the playoffs last? Julian, I had a question. Did the Suns make the playoffs last year? Did they make the play-in?
Suns didn't even make the play-in last year. I ain't gonna lie.
Really?
It was nasty.
Was Katie healthy last year?
Was Katie playing the last month before the season?
I mean, y'all didn't have nothing to play for. What were y'all playing for? I was asking Julian. But I say all that to say, coming out of the West is going to be OKC. Personally, they're the best team in the league by far, in my opinion. They didn't lose anybody. They got the reigning MVP. I'm pretty sure he was a scoring champ last year. I could be wrong. And Shea, they got all the pieces they need. I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. They're young. They play fast. They defend. So barring no injuries to them, especially you might see a big jump from Chet, who I felt like he had a jump, but I don't think we still saw that jump that we needed from Chet. Jalen Williams
He was still coming back from injury, really.
Yeah, so
like he was really just getting settled.
We really haven't even seen him for. I think Jalen Williams took the jump he needed. I'm pretty sure he was an all-star last year, and we saw what he did in the postseason, especially in the finals. He has some big games, but that's a scary team. So coming out the West for me is going to be OKC, Knicks. OKC's probably going.
But you think West? I just wanted to, because I couldn't hear if I heard you. But
I know you just
the Western Conference. You think the Western Conference Finals are OKC and the Los Angeles Lakers,
barring no injuries to anyone on the Lakers? Yes.
Barring no injuries.
Yes.
Okay. And why? Why do you think that again?
Because they feel the need they needed, which was rebounds. When we watched that, going back to the Minnesota Timberwolves Lakers series, and keep in mind, Timberwolves made it to the Western Conference Finals, in case we forgot. So it's not like the Lakers played some scrubs in the first round, but a big reason why they lost that series was they simply couldn't close out possessions by getting rebounds. They were out rebounded.
I wouldn't just say that. I think
they were out rebounded. Let me finish. They were out rebounded wide and large throughout the whole series.
Absolutely.
By a wide margin.
Yes.
So you fill that with DeAndre Ayton. They couldn't guard a parked car at times. I think Marcus Smart gives them a bit more of a defensive edge, a defensive identity, a guy you can kind of throw on guards, kind of be a pest a little bit. So they filled their needs and what they needed. They didn't need to make any crazy moves besides get a big that can rebound, get a big that can have an interior presence, and get a guard that can guard. When you have Luka, Braun, and even Austin Reeves, who's really shown that he can play in the big moments, you don't need another ball handler. You don't need another guy that's going to give you 20, 30. No, you need guys that can play their role. That's where a lot of teams, they think we need all these superstars, we need all these guys, when clearly it doesn't work. Clearly, look at the Phoenix Suns and what they did. Anyways, so then now you got a team that they get a lot of role players that surround those role players with their stars. You'll be straight. So I think they're going to make it to the West. And do I feel like they're going to make it to the finals? No, I don't. I don't think anyone in the West is going to beat OKC.
Right, but just right there, right beneath. I mean, I would say yes, rebounding. I think it was more so a result of size mismatch. I don't think you guys matched up very well to Timberwolves size wise, which contributed. I'm not just talking about from the center position. I'm talking about just in general. I don't think you guys really matched up. I think that was big because
ain't that what I just said?
But you said rebounding.
Where did we not match up size wise? Actually. Break down the lineup. Break down the lineup, actually. Break it down. Where did we not? No, you said we didn't match up size-wise, right? That's your words.
Size-wise,
Luka's what, 6'8"? Luka's 6'8" against Mike Conley.
Can I give the starting lineup? You just said it. Okay. Timberwolves starting lineup was Mike Conley.
And Luka.
Point guard. Mike Conley, Luka. Okay. And then you got, who was that?
And Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is taller than that. Austin Reeves is like 6'5".
Okay, when you talk about size, though, we're talking like,
or we're talking about girth.
Height, obviously size. Please don't get me. Okay, obviously. When you talk about size, guys, when you talk about size,
I'm confused.
Julian, when we talk about size, we're not just talking about height.
Does height not matter too?
Height and body, Josh. Size.
So it's a combination.
Okay, it's a combination. So obviously, Ant is size-wise bigger than Austin Reeves, correct? Would you agree? Yes or no?
Sure, I guess if you want to do
that. Sure, I guess. I don't know why you were thinking about it so much.
Okay, go to the next one. I'm gonna look some up real quick.
It's significantly bigger than Austin Reeves. Okay, yep. He got Julius Randle. I don't know who's on him.
LeBron.
Okay, so they match up. McDaniels.
Rui.
Yeah. No. And then obviously from the center.
The only big mismatch they had was the center position size-wise. What are you talking about?
That's not true.
Because right now you're sounding crazy. So we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go to the next one.
Josh, we're not just talking about.
Julian, can you get no? I just want Julian to say what his opinion is on this.
Josh,
please let Julian speak. Can you let
Size,
Julian speak?
you're late. That starting lineup doesn't play all the time, Josh. You guys were mismatched.
Okay,
Like,
can you let
once you get
Julian
to
speak?
your bench,
Cool. Can you let
you
Julian
match
speak,
up.
please? Can you let Julian speak? That's all
Sorry,
I'm
go
asking.
ahead, Julian. Sorry.
What's your opinion on this, Julian?
All right, pause real quick. Wait, before I segue or before I get my piece, can I get my charger real quick? If I did not, I ain't gonna lie.
Go ahead and get it.
Hey,
You might
man.
as well. Go ahead and get it, brother. You
know
might as well
what?
go ahead and get it.
Might as well go to the next, hit the next topic.
Let's go to the next one, bro.
You might as well go to the next topic.
Yeah, it's just trolling, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, you got it, gang. I ain't gonna lie, you got it. Oh my gosh, that gave me a laugh that I needed. I don't, I don't really want to get on the whole topic of the girth and tonnage. I don't know. I mean, Julian, you can make it quick. Julian, just give me your quick opinion on that before we move to the next one, because we've been talking about this for 30 minutes.
On the Wolves Lakers thing, I mean, like, I kind of see where Will's coming from, but I mean, yeah, I feel like Gobert really was just the X factor in terms of like you said, like they couldn't close possessions because Gobert was kind of dominating the offensive glass. But I will say, I see what Will was saying in terms of like from an athletic standpoint, which you could like that could factor into size in terms of space taken up on the court.
Yeah.
Like even a matchup like McDaniels versus Braun or Roy, like McDaniels is more athletic than both those players right now. So like just in terms of space being taken up on the floor, like I see what Will's saying. And then
you because Josh is not
and then Ant-Man versus Reeves. Ant-Man versus Reeves is the same thing. Like
you probably should just say like more than Rui, I think. But yeah, that's the.
Wait,
I don't know.
wait. Jaden McDaniels right now in this moment is more athletic than LeBron James.
I agree. Some people don't.
Tomato. In terms of when you say more athletic, maybe I'm just thinking of kind of like
he can jump higher. He can run faster than Braun right now too. Probably if they lined up right now, just race, bro. Jaden McDaniels is athletic, bro. Like I'm not saying
he's athletic.
Yeah, but to me, he's more athletic than Braun right now.
Agile.
Yeah,
defensively for sure. He clears them defensively right now. I feel
like Braun is stronger than him right now. Probably still. Lateral movement, jumping ability, like bro, Jaden McDaniels.
We're just gonna have to agree to disagree on that one. It's just we're just gonna agree to disagree.
I mean, at that point, you're saying Braun is still one of the more athletic players in the league. That's what you're saying.
No,
in terms of, I mean, I don't look at Jaden McDaniels as like, aside defensively, he's definitely up there in terms of, like you said, agility, etc. But if we're just talking about, jumping, how high you jump, etc., like I don't know if I would put Jaden McDaniels up there, because when I think of dudes that's up there, I think of a guy that's on his team like Ant, like John Moran. I mean, those guys obviously they're out of this world, but that's what I look at when I'm like the top like athletic guys in the league offensively. That's how I view that.
I mean, but
defensively, I'll give it to you. Defensively, bro, you can make the argument he's what, top 2, top 3 3-and-D players in the league.
Yeah,
you can make that argument.
Even Ant-Man himself has kind of raved about Jaden's physical capabilities.
Like, I mean, it's his teammate. I would hope he would. He said what did he say the one time when they said they got KD? He said we got Jaden McDaniels. So, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that Jaden McDaniels better than Kevin Durant. But you gotta talk about your team.
That would be insane.
But yeah, I know we've been talking about this topic a little bit. So we'll go to the next one. Since we have been on the top, we were talking about Ant a little bit, some of the best teams, like the Knicks, the Nuggets, Rockets, etc. I'm curious to see kind of what your opinions are, and like, well, who do you think are the top 10 players entering the league next year? And I'll start with you, Will.
Like rookies?
Top 10 players, just period.
Oh. Well, I thought when you say intern, I think you meant like through the draft.
And don't go on a whole
I
tangent.
won't. I
Please,
won't.
please.
And this, I won't be able. If I'm going to do this quick, I won't be able to go in no particular.
You don't gotta rank them.
Yeah. So I'll start with Kevin Wayne Durant, obviously. I
Okay.
mean, no doubt about that. I'm gonna go SGA, Luca. Um, because I'm gonna end up just leaving somebody out internally. So Giannis, obviously. Um, I would say Ant. I would say Ant. I think Steph still is one of the top players in the league. I still think he's top 10. He's probably at the lower end of that now, but still top 10. Um,
That's good.
I think Kawhi when he's healthy, and from what I seen in the playoffs, he looked like Kawhi. I think he's top 10. No question about it, just because of his two-way capability. He's just good. He's just really good.
That's
Um,
I'm gonna help you out too, Will. Don't forget about that big dude over in Denver.
Oh, Jokic, bro. See, that's why I knew I was like, what I'm gonna. That's why I had to like look. I'm looking at the
Hey,
team.
that's eight. That's
Yeah,
eight. Jokic,
yeah.
that's eight.
He should have, because it would have. SGA deserved the MVP this year, but if it wasn't for SGA just doing literally every single thing that he did, Jokic easily would have won the MVP, because he had what was he, top 2 in every category,
Top two,
like,
top
and
something.
top 5 even in steals, like something crazy, like he just incredible. So that left me with. So I said what? I said
You got two
Jokic,
more.
2 more. Um, man, you know what? I'm gonna go Wimby. I think Wimby. I'm gonna go Wimby.
He's gonna do it, isn't he? You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
This
You
is
have
tough.
no shame.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
You have no
This last
shame.
one, this last one is really tough internally, and I'll give you my 3 that I'm stuck between. I'm gonna say
He better be one of them.
I'm gonna say I'm stuck between Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, this guy.
I'm stuck between Paolo
Mm-hmm.
and ay 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 ay. I mean, this is um I mean that you could that's really tough. That's really tough. Yeah,
Man,
you could
just give me your 10th one, man.
maybe
I don't
even
even
go
what you're doing is shameless. It's shameless.
you
You
you could
know he
go
needs to be in your list.
you could go Donovan in there. Seriously. Like, you could put Donovan in there. I would give K the honorable mention. That last 10 spot is a little too tough. A little too tough to say.
Um,
Um,
I'm a, I'm
I
a,
think
I'm a go real quick, Julian, because what
Nice.
he's doing is shameless.
what am I doing?
It is shameless. Your hatred for him
What am
has
I
to be studied because
for
you
who?
named about 14, 15 players. Like you had your 10, but you named about 13, 14 players like that
10
you were
is hard.
pondering
I
on.
said 10 was
And
very
the
good.
fact that LeBron James wasn't even a guy that was, mind you, there's 3 all NBA teams, right? That's 15 players. This guy was second team all NBA last year at 40 years old. And the fact that in your head, he's not even considered
Let's be real,
a
Josh. Let's
top
be real.
13 player in the league
Let's be real.
is
Let's be real.
crazy to me.
Was LeBron really deserving this year of a second team All NBA?
Yes. What are you
No.
talking about? He
Let's
averaged
be honest.
25. What are
Let's
you
have
talking
a
about? Even if
serious
you put him third
conversation.
team, what are you
Let's
talking
have a
about?
serious
Average
conversation
25,
about it.
8 and 8. What are you talking about? What are you talking about here?
Let's have a serious conversation about it.
What are
Seriously.
you? We're pulling this
No,
up.
seriously.
We're pulling this up.
Seriously.
We're pulling this up. We have to.
Okay. So the All NBA team, All NBA first team was Giannis, Shea, SGA,
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell, Jayson Tatum.
Yes.
Okay.
Who? Another guy you didn't mention.
Because he's not playing next year. You said insert into the next year.
Yeah, but then you said Kawhi if he's healthy.
Kawhi's healthy going into.
But you just said
he didn't tear his Achilles before the season ended.
Keep going what you're saying, though. I just
so no, I'm not counting Jayson Tatum.
Keep going what you said.
Because he's not playing.
Keep going
Should
what
I
you
count
said.
Dame?
Yeah, but I'm just saying you said Kawhi if healthy. Anyways, keep going, buddy.
Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, second team was Jalen Brunson, correct. Steph Curry. I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure. I'll be honest. I'm not sure about that one. Ant, obviously, which honestly, I would have put Ant. Donovan had a heck of a year. I'd have put Ant above him.
No, Donovan Mitchell led the number one team in the East. Couldn't do that.
And yeah, I said you couldn't, but that's my personal preference. Then it was LeBron and it was Evan Mobley. Okay.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm assuming for the team they have to do it by positions. Because
Evan Mobley, defensive player of the year.
But Evan Mobley is in a second team, unless they do first, second, third team by positions. Like Evan Mobley's not getting in the second team for me.
I don't necessarily think so, because the third team has three guys I'd consider point guards. That's the third team.
I think last year or the year before, like it's definitely supposed to be positionless now.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't have put Evan Mobley in my second team. That's me personally.
The third team has four guards on it.
Third team has Cade, Tyrese. At the time, Tyrese was the chosen third team. That probably made more sense if you had included his playoff run now. He easily should have been second team because he had
but that's not what they based that off.
Obviously not what they based it on. Yes. James Harden, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Williams.
So which one of those guys on third team should have jumped LeBron for second team?
I probably would put Cade above him.
Cade Cunningham.
If we're talking about last year, yes, I would have put Cade Cunningham above him for a second team.
Okay, cool. Drop LeBron on the third team.
Because I think
drop LeBron on the third team, but he's still on NBA.
Because, for example, I think Ant is a better player than Donovan Mitchell. Okay, I think most people would agree on that. I think Ant is a better player than Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell gets that first team because he was the best player on the best team. Okay, I think Cade, you got to give him second team because the Pistons literally live and die by Cade. Like there is no Pistons even coming because we really should have beat the Knicks who were in the Eastern Conference Finals. There is no chance of that without Cade. Okay?
I should have been 6'5".
I would put LeBron currently in the same conversation category as James Harden, as a Tyrese, Cat.
Okay, but my point still stands. And I don't want to harp on this too long because I want to say my 10 and then let Julian go. My point still stands though. LeBron was going to be an All NBA. He was going to be on an All NBA team, which is top 15 players in the league.
Yeah,
but still saying my point still stands. You name about 14, 15 players, and he wasn't a part of any of that. Anyways, so I'm gonna give you my top 10 players that I feel like entering next year. Jokic, Luka, Shea for sure. Giannis, what was that, 4? Tough. I feel like I'm missing Steph, LeBron, Kevin Durant. That's 7. Who am I missing? Donnie. Embiid if healthy. And then I probably will go.
I would have said Embiid too then, but
and Jayson Tatum if healthy.
He's not. It's not if healthy. He ruptured.
Yeah, but you said Kawhi if healthy though. Did you not say that, or am I tweaking?
Okay, sorry. I shouldn't even said if healthy. I should have just said
Okay, so
Kawhi.
if healthy. Anyway,
Because
that's my
Kawhi
10.
is currently
Julian,
healthy right now. He's healthy
Julian,
right now.
Julian, give me a 10, man. I'll
Jayson
just say
Tatum
it.
for
He
the
said
boot.
quiet if healthy. Anyway, Julian, you
So
said
my 10, factoring in people who are going to be healthy when the season starts, projected to be healthy when the season starts. I would say Jokic, Giannis, Luka, SGA, um, KD, Braun. That's 6.
6, yeah.
Uh, I ain't gonna lie, man. I think going into next year, I think I'm comfortable saying Wemby. At 7, I think I'm comfortable also putting Ant-Man in there. My 8th spot. Um,
That's where it get tricky.
honestly, honestly, like I feel like I gotta put Paolo. Like Paolo to me is one of them ones.
I'm
So
telling
I'm
you. I'm
put
telling
Paolo
you.
in that 9th spot. And then I know a lot of people will kind of get on me because like Steph not in the top 10 for me. I'm gonna just put that out there. Steph's not in my top 10. Um, I
That's
just
fair.
don't. When I compare him to a Cade, when I compare him to a Ant Man, to a Wemby, those people who I think are on like a similar tier as him right now, I feel like those other players do more than him right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's capable of whether it's a series or obviously if it's one game, I'm choosing a team. Yeah, like I'll take Steph over a lot of those dudes. But just in a general sense, I would say my 10th spot, I would probably either give it to Kawhi or Cade Cunningham right now.
so. Who's your 10?
So my 9th was Paolo, and then my 10th would be Kawhi or Cade. Probably Kawhi, just off respect.
So, well, I'm saying who else was in it because I know you said Jokic, Shea.
So going backwards, it would be Kawhi, it would be Paolo, Ant Man, Wemby, Braun, KD, Luca, SGA, Jokic, Giannis.
That's valid.
Bron in
That's
there.
valid. That's valid. That's valid. I'm not mad at that one. Um,
Only
I
because
think.
Bron's Julian. That's only. I don't. I don't know.
Listen, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this.
I
See,
just don't know why he slips in there.
new
So
season, same you. We not doing this. We're not doing this.
keep going.
We're not doing this. The guy that made All NBA second team, you trying to tell me he not a top 10 player, top 15 player in the league? I don't want to hear that. What's your
Because
guy
I
doing?
don't think he should have been second team. I don't think he's a
Was it
second team
Cancun?
caliber player right now.
Um,
I think so.
Cancun. Anyways, that brings us to my last game. Well, it's like really the first game, but since we've been talking about all these players, top 10 players, we did this a couple years ago. Well, really last year, where I name out a player, and then I say superstar or star. So, which one of these the players that I'm about to name out, tell me if they're a superstar or a star. We're gonna start with Devin Booker, and you guys can just go one after each other. So the first player is Devin Booker.
That's a tough one already.
I mean, I'm not because my criteria for superstar is very strict. So I'm going to ease up a little bit. But even with that, he's a star. Like after last season, you cannot even make a play in.
Yeah.
Like you can't. You're supposed to be entering your prime. Like you have your own shoe. You've shown you're one of the best players in the world. You know, especially after the Olympics, the way he stepped up, filled in his role alongside Katie, alongside Broad, alongside Steph. Like you can't come off that and then not make the play in. So I'd say he dropped to a star for me.
Yeah, I'll say it. I was torn between is he a star with heavy superstar tendencies or is he a superstar with
Yeah, star
little
tendencies.
stars
Yeah,
tendencies? Like I want to lean more towards he's a star with heavy superstar tendencies.
I like that. I like that.
But it's tough. It's tough because Debo one and ones. He one and ones.
I'm gonna say he's a star. I'm gonna agree with Julian in terms of like my criteria for superstars is a bit more strict. I think that word gets thrown around a little too loosely. So in my opinion, I think Devin Booker is a star. Next player is going to be Tyrese Halliburton.
Y'all want to go first? To me, he's a star. Like I just, to me, I know it's his brand of play, but there's just certain games where you just don't know he's out there.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's not. If he was a little more tenacious on the defensive end, I probably would be more willing to give him that superstar. Because I'm not saying it's not even just about scoring, but there's times where even if he's not scoring, I know he can impact the game, but he's not really playmaking like that either. So he's just kind of he's out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel Aaron Nesmith sometimes more than I feel Tyrese Halliburton. Looking at last year's playoffs. So to me, a superstar, it can happen once in a while on a playoff run, but for them to make the finals and there's like multiple games I could think of where I was watching, I'm like, yo, Tyrese is kind of just out there. Like he's getting there, but right now I'd say star.
I say after the playoff run, I say he's right on the cusp. If he's not a superstar, I mean like this is superstar. He like right there, because I mean he put like superstars live up to the moment, and there was not one moment throughout the entire playoffs that he did not shy away from and was flawless. Oh, it's hard to say flawless, but it's probably as flawless as you can be in a playoff game or in a playoff series, like in a lot of those performances. And if he hadn't gotten hurt, the way he was starting off game 7 was like he was on one again. Like he was about to put on a legacy type performance again. So I'm not going to jump and say, especially because the regular season, I felt like he turned it up in the postseason. For regular season, he kind of dropped a little bit from last year, but he's right there. He's right there.
I'm not mad at him. Like you said, I think he made a good point. Not to cut you off, Josh, but he did hit some very big shots, which is that's superstar.
After shot.
I'm not mad at it.
For me, star, it's not really a hard decision for me because when I look at a superstar, you're not just great. Obviously, a lot of superstars are great in the postseason. You're not just great in the postseason, but you're also kind of great in the regular season, and you're consistent for the most part. Like you got people that are buying tickets and away games to come watch you. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think he's commanded that just yet. That's what I think of when I think of a superstar.
I don't know about that.
I don't feel like he's commanded that.
Are you saying because
I just don't think he's commanded that yet. I think he's very inconsistent in the regular season. He normally hits a trend where he starts a little bit pitiful. Like because when he's bad, he's bad. Like you look at Jokic or even a guy like Luka, like when they're bad, bro, a bad game for Luka is 25, 8, and 9. A bad game for Hallie, bro, he might be liable to give you 3 points, bro. Yeah. I cannot have that from a superstar. That's unacceptable.
Like, the only reason why I say that is because when Jimmy was on the Heat,
I never looked at Jimmy as a superstar though. And I've
looked at Jimmy as when Jimmy
was a star to me. Jimmy was a star.
I viewed Jimmy as a superstar.
Jimmy was a star to me. I never looked at him like a superstar. That's just my opinion. I never looked at him like a superstar. He was in a situation where he had to do everything, and he did do it at a very high level. But for me, it's again kind of that roller coaster because Jimmy was the type where regular season he damn near took it off, and that's why we called him Playoff Jimmy. I can't look at you as a superstar in the regular season. You're taking it off. No, because that's not the standard we hold superstars to. Superstars are good all year long. And I don't want to say good, but they make their presence known in the regular season. No, we don't look at Shea and be like, oh yeah, he just turned off the. No, Shea was averaging 30 all year throughout the postseason. So for me, in a couple years, I think Tyrese may kind of lean to that superstar kind of role, but. Right now he's a star for me. Next guy, Jayson Tatum.
Jayson Tatum is a superstar. He's a superstar with a role player personality. That's just what it like. If we're talking Like we're just talking. If we're just
That's a
talking,
little diabolical. I'm not gonna lie to you.
if we're just talking basketball, I think he's like.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, we're not. But look. But listen, everybody's criteria on what a superstar is different. Like if you think about like Gilly, uh, like Gilbert Arenas, like his criteria for a superstar is literally like, do people come to see you? It's not regardless of necessarily your play. It's does everybody come to see you? So like he puts like popularity like at a premium. I don't do that. I mix in a little bit more, but I also include it. That's why I said if we're just talking like basketball. But I think Jayson Tatum is a superstar, and I also like Ella May. So it's kind of like him being with her is I give him the edge because he got Ella.
Yeah, I don't really got too much analysis on it. I think he does get disrespected. I can kind of see why he gets disrespected, but I would veer more towards superstar. I think his resume is too good to not put him in that class, and the talent matches his resume, kind of like Will is alluding to, just strictly speaking hoops. So yeah, I'd say superstar as well.
I'd say superstar. He has had some questionable performances in the playoffs, but help lead the Celtics to a ring. Really good in the regular season, year in, year out. So I definitely, durable.
If you can match up against KD and win, you're a superstar. That's how I figure it. Because that's a superstar.
But and then this is when I relapse, and then I
was supporting your argument.
What does KD have to do with what
I'm saying? If Jayson Tatum,
what are you talking about? Yeah, when he swept him.
He
didn't match up with KD. He swept KD. KD, if anything, KD was matching up with him.
Tatum won that matchup.
He didn't just win that matchup. He torched him. He swept him.
Okay. He won the matchup
in the first round, by the way.
Yes,
Jason forgot.
Literally, that was my point. That was my point.
Goodness gracious, you want to bring up KD so bad for no reason, unprovoked. Jeez Louise, you got some issues.
I was supporting you. I was literally
Looney Tune.
Your claim.
We got like two more. Next player's Anthony Davis.
Ooh. Anthony Davis is a star with superstar potential. The best ability is availability, and if I can't count on you, it's hard to put you. There's tiers to start, and I got to be mindful when I say this because
very mindful
because Joel Embiid's availability is significant.
Kawhi's availability,
but when Embiid is
Durant's availability.
Well, I mean, Kevin Durant is a superstar. We don't have to.
I was just saying his availability is questionable as of late since he got hurt.
I think there's tiers to star, and Anthony Davis is probably on. He's a superstar caliber player.
Anthony Davis is a superstar, in my opinion. Yeah, and I want to give a whole analysis why, but I'm just gonna keep it simple. You can't not be a superstar and get traded for Luka Doncic. He's a superstar. That's just the simple analysis I got on that. I mean, Nico is I can't use the word I was about to say. He is he's an interesting individual that might need. Well, he wins in the end, actually. So who knows? He got the first overall pick. Maybe he's a mastermind, but I just feel like Anthony Davis. It goes back to the thing about being a bit more durable. But when he is playing, he is durable. He's arguably one of the best bigs in the league outside of Jokic. And then when there's a guy that can match up with Jokic pound for pound on both sides, Anthony Davis probably does that the best than any other big in the league. I mean, you can make the argument. Aside from Wemby, since Wemby just not came into the league 2 years ago, but he's arguably the best defending big in the league. And I mean, he could guard 1 through 5, something I don't think Wemby actually can do as of yet. I think he's too long, he's too tall, he's not quick enough. But Anthony Davis can guard 1 through 5. I feel like he's a superstar, but he's a superstar that's like declining. Like he's like if you asked me this a year or 2 years ago, I probably would say easy. Like he's up there, you know what I mean? But I feel like
I
he's
actually
dropping he's dropping down to like a star level, but he is a superstar
disagree because
right
I
now.
actually think that Anthony Davis is rising to superstardom as of
He's been a superstar though. I feel he's been a superstar.
you think he's declining.
I feel like
I
he's
think
been a superstar though.
I think that he's been a superstar caliber player, and I think this year he'll be a superstar. That's what I.
What you think, Jay?
I would probably say star. I think Will. I definitely agree with Will on this. I think he's capable of that superstardom. Whether it's his personality, the lack of availability, different factors, I think that's what kind of pushes him into the star category for me. But I also agree with Will. I think it's crazy because obviously in New Orleans, I think everybody saw that superstar potential.
Mm-hmm.
I think him going to Braun is what turned him back into a star, for better or for worse. And obviously it worked. You know, they won the finals really their first full year together. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, when you play with someone like LeBron James, you know, sometimes you got to kind of just let your light dim a little bit, you know, in order to kind of fall in line. But I think the last season and a half, he kind of started to get that aggression back, specifically on the offensive end. And like Will said, I think him going to Dallas now, kind of having a clean slate, especially with Kyrie being out this year.
And being able to consistently play the four, I think.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, they have Lively and Gafford still. So I think he's poised to. I think this will be one of his better years in a while, if he's able to stay healthy.
I just have to respectfully disagree with you two, only because when they won in 2020, you could have made the argument that Anthony Davis was viewed as a top 5 player in the league at the time when he was playing.
You
Like
talking about?
there was a
That's
time when we were looking at like Braun was like either 1 or 2, and like AD was looked at like 4 or 5. You know, it was pound for pound in terms of how they both were playing in 2020. I think what hurt AD was the fact that he was getting hurt quite a lot, and obviously his injuries. You know, it's tough to, if you're not on the court. You know, it's tough to produce. So I feel like that's what hurt him more than anything, because it did come to a point where, you know, Braun wanted to kind of give him that mantle. Like that was what he wanted to. Obviously, Braun's on the way out. He's getting old, but injuries. Anthony Davis just couldn't stay on the court, and you could have made an argument too. I mean, the Lakers honestly went as far as AD got us to go, at least the past couple of years when he was with us. Without Anthony Davis, the Lakers, like Anthony Davis was the engine for the Lakers in the past couple of years. And I'm not going to argue that. As great as LeBron James was, Anthony Davis was the engine. So for me, especially playing with a guy like LeBron, you have to have superstar level to be the engine for a team like that. Now, I understand why y'all feel the way he is a star. I don't think that's a bad take on it, but I just feel like he's kind of been on like that superstar cusp level. But injuries have just plagued him. I look at him kind of how I look at Kawhi. It's just the difference is, to your point too. I mean, obviously with the being on Dallas now, and he's kind of really the guy. He'll be able to show that superstar talent more. It's just Kawhi's difference is like Kawhi's always been the guy on, you know, the Clippers. But for the most part, the Lakers tried to hand him those keys and kind of been like, yo, like take off. But he hasn't been durable enough to stay on the floor, unfortunately, as we saw with even on Dallas. He isn't durable. So for me, I feel like he's a superstar that is like on the cusp. Like he's declining a little bit. Because I mean, my worry for him this year is, yeah, he's gonna be able to kind of do that superstar, like kind of show his superstar, you know, what he can do. But at the same time, I'm beginning to wonder, like, is that too much of a load on him? Because every time he's kind of been given the keys to like, hey, like you are supposed to be carrying us on a night to night basis, he just hasn't been durable. Now on the Mavs, you got a lot of different guys that are going to be able to help you out when Kyrie gets back, Cooper Flag. So I don't think we're going to see an Anthony Davis or at least a shade of Anthony Davis from New Orleans, because I just don't think he physically can carry that anymore. I just don't think he has that in him personally, in my opinion. But Dallas is a team that's constructed to perfection for him, where he doesn't have to carry that load personally. So that's why I think he's more so declining, because the way that Dallas is constructed is like, you got Kyrie who's going to come back, who's going to command most of, controlling the ball. You got Cooper Flag, who best rookie, who we looking at. He's going to have a great career, barring no injuries. And he's going to take a lot of pressure off Anthony Davis. And then when all those guys are together, AD isn't, in my opinion, going to be having to do superstar stuff every single night. He's just not going to have to do that, because they're going to have a team around him to do that. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it, and how I see it. So I would definitely say the last. What'd you say?
No, I was just going to say, I'm curious. So you don't think him playing with Bron has anything to do with it?
I think, because my thing, if he played with Bron before like 2020, like during that time, because Bron's on the way out, in my opinion. He's been on the way out. In 2020, they were kind of a 1-2 punch, best duo in the league.
Yeah.
And he was looked at as, if you don't want to say top 5, but he definitely was looked at, Anthony Davis, as a top 10 player in the league, especially after that run, without question. And I don't know if we're really looking at top 10 players in the league, at least at that time, and saying like, yeah, that's just a star. I mean, he looks like you think he's a star because LeBron at the time was the best player on the team. But I think it was kind of more a 1A, 1B situation, because the Lakers don't win that championship without Anthony Davis. It is not even a question. They're not the best team in the West without Anthony Davis. Not even a question. Because there are games where Brown would go out, give you 25, 10, and 8 in the postseason, and then you got Anthony Davis here giving you 41 and 20.
Yeah, I've been thought AD was the best player when he was on the Lakers, but that was
not even to get into that. But what I'm saying is it's no knock on either of them. Like I'm saying, like, if you're going to fall in line for any player in the league, Bron was that person who you're going to fall in line for. But I think even going back, there's been a trend. You go to Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Anthony Davis, kind of that mold of those were all budding superstars,
all-star caliber players that
for better or for worse, they had to fall in line with Bron, because Bron, the way he plays, you're going to eat mainly as a shooter coming off of his penetration. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he's not dumping it down to the block, really trying to watch people go to work. And obviously it's worked. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. That's just Bron. So what I'm saying is kind of, I agree with what you're saying, because they definitely were a 1-2 punch, but I'm saying just Bron's aura and his presence, I feel like part of it is that popularity. And like when you play with Bron, I mean, when things go well, it's going to be mostly Bron. Just like when things go bad, it's mostly Bron. So for better or for worse, I feel like Anthony Davis, he just kind of got overshadowed in that, along with his.
No, that's not a court. That's facts. Like, I think had he not been with Bron, he would have for sure, especially if he played the same way he played, he would have for sure been looked at as a superstar. But because again, Bron was kind of the umbrella for them, they looked at it like, like he's a great Robin. But again, I never looked at them as like Bron is like crazy here, and it was for me 1A, 1B. And for me, it was like Anthony Davis needed to take that mantle. And that's going to be a wrap for episode 1. Again, it's been a minute since we tapped in, since we recorded, but we're going to be back better than ever this time around. We got a lot more episodes coming for y'all. We're going to have NBA exclusive episodes, NFL exclusive episodes. Sometimes we're going to have a combination. We got more guests coming on, so appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm your host, Josh Raphael. Got my co-host, Julian and Will. And we're going to be back with another one. We're going to see y'all.
Yes, sir.